Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, I'm Kevin Brown, Director for King County Parks, and I'd like to welcome all of you and thank you for joining us here at Steve Cox Memorial Park. As one of the great regional parks in King County, Steve Cox Memorial Park provides a great many amenities for the public to enjoy, especially for those that are living in the White Center area. Within this 12-acre park, we have an outstanding ball field that was recently renovated that hosts teams from around the region to play. We also have a community center that offers recreational opportunities for youth year-round. We've got basketball courts and a newer play area that draws too many families to count. And today we are celebrating the improved and dedication of the tennis courts here at White Center Park. We are very proud to see the completion of this resurfacing project. It's the only lighted tennis court that's available to the public here in the White Center area. But it comes at a group effort. It would not have been possible to do this project were it not through a $100,000 community development block grant that we received for this project. We received this from the United States Department of Housing and Development. These funds help to underwrite the necessary materials, equipment, labor, and construction costs to help to get this project off the ground. In addition, from start to finish, we've received tremendous support from the White Center community, and we're very thankful for that. At this time, I'd like to thank our partner on this project, Emerald Paving, for the great resurfacing work that they did. The courts look fantastic, and we're anxious to see some folks out here later. I'd also like to thank Shannon Braddock, Chief of Staff for King County Council Member Joe McDermott for being with us here today, as well as representatives from the Community Block Development Grant and U.S. Tennis Association. I'm hoping folks can stick around for a little bit after this short program, as you're going to see the courts in action. Apparently there's going to be students and team members from the John F. Kennedy Catholic High School here later on, and it'll be an opportunity for us to see those courts in use while they practice. And it's my guess that they're just as happy as anybody else in the region to see these courts finally resurfaced. They've been in need of it for a while, and having a smooth surface will make them happy, I'm sure. I'd like to again thank you for coming out today, and at this time I'd like to introduce Kathy Tremper, who's representing King County's Community Block Development Block Grant Program. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Kathy Tremper. I am the Community Development Block Grant Coordinator with the Housing and Community Development Program with the Community Services Division, housed in the Department of Community and Human Services. I oversee the federal CDBG program allocations for King County, and I'm so excited to have this opportunity to represent the department and the Human Services today. It's one of the coolest things about the federal CDBG program is to be able to observe projects evolve from their initial concept and planning all the way through to the celebration of the completion and serving the needs of the community, just as we are witnessing here today. I can attest to the benefit this project will bring. When the county's DNRP program evaluated its needs and assessment for this park in 2009, it immediately started work with King County's DCHS Community Development Program to identify the project for potential funding. In 2009, a funding application was presented to the South County Sub-Region Community Block Grant Consortium cities in its initial planning stage. It was successful and received 2010 funds, but was delayed due to federal stimulus projects taking priority over implementation. After much ado over MOU, we hadn't worked much together with county departments and capital infrastructure, and this project was our pilot in developing contract and procurement procedures that worked for all concerned. HCD's approach was from the federal perspective, DNRP's was from the county and state perspective, and now we have excellent formats, networks, relationships that will help usher other jointly funded projects through the pipeline, as well as be prepared for any future projects that may come our way. So here we are today. Who says determination and hard work won't pay off? This project demonstrates the successful partnership of two departments in the concept and design to the financing and shared project management of the implementation. I'd like to acknowledge a couple of key players in project that helped keep it on track and assuring that all federal, state, and county rules were followed during its implementation. Chris Erickson, the Parks and Natural Resources staff, who was HCD's project contact and responsible for overseeing the project and has been there every step of the way. And Eric Jensen, HCD project manager, oversaw the federal bidding and procurement compliance and labor compliance, met weekly with Chris during the construction of the project and the associated project staff regarding project elements. They both deserve an applause and acknowledgement of job well done. And a big thank you to Emerald Paving, the prime construction contractor, and the work of their payroll and accounting staff, who successfully accomplished finding the end of the red tape in tracking the labor compliance related to CDBG. I'd like to close in pointing out the importance of the CDBG program and the value these worthwhile projects are accomplished through it, and jobs created and made available to local community. In the process of construction, the Steve Cox Park project provided upward of 20 jobs, including construction labor, project managers, design engineers, all that were created or sustained through work involved in bringing the project online. King County DCHS was proud to have committed the $100,000 in CDBG capital funds that helped realize the goal here at Steve Cox. As we can all see, it is money well spent. We all know that recreational facilities help bring communities together and offer healthy benefits to our county residents, especially children. This park amenities, including the renewed tennis courts, provide healthier and safer environment that all residents can enjoy. I'd like to thank Shannon Braddock and the council member McDermott's office, Gail Bensler from the U.S. Tennis Association, and DNRP Parks and Rec Division Director Kevin Brown for your project team, your hard work, and renewing an integral part of the popular neighborhood park. With that, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Gail Bensler with the U.S. Tennis Association.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Kathy, so much. Obviously, I'm with the United States Tennis Association Pacific Northwest Section, and I can't even tell you guys how delighted I am to be here. I mean, stuff like this just fills my heart with joy to see communities coming together, building facilities and things that are only going to be a shining star in the community for years and years to come. And it's especially heartwarming to know that these courts were resurfaced all because of a dedicated community effort. And wow, I mean, I can't even tell you how wonderful these look. These are, I think, among the best looking and most utilitarian outdoor courts that we have in our section. And so congratulations, everybody. This is unbelievable. I can't wait to get on these. I wish that I brought my tennis gear with me. And speaking of tennis, if you guys saw back here, I want to thank Jim Yusugi for bringing us into the mix, because Jim contacted us and said, hey, there's this wonderful park. We're resurfacing the courts. We'd love to have you guys come in and help out with some 10 and under lines. And if you guys can look and see the kind of light blue lines back there, those are down specifically to help kids get involved in the game and get them playing fast. We like to shrink the courts down, kids' size. We give them equipment that's the right size, makes them successful right away. And guess what? If people are successful playing, what are they going to keep on doing? They're probably going to stick with the sport. So we're thrilled. Couldn't be happier. I also want to thank everybody involved with this project. It's just unbelievable what you guys were able to do. You know, I started playing tennis when I was really young. I saw a tennis match on TV. Any of you guys remember Jimmy Connors? Yeah, I had this huge crush on Jimmy Connors growing up, and he was the reason that I played tennis. And I think a lot of people have that same experience. They watch the US Open, especially if there's an American player doing well, and they go, you know, hey, I want to get out and play some tennis and try. And you know, with the weather that we've been having, I mean, what better way to take advantage of these awesome courts back here? You know, I met a lot of people. I'm from California. I met a ton of people when I was starting to play. And the cool thing is that I still play with them. I still see them every once in a while, even though I don't live in California anymore. And tennis has been such a big part of my life, and I think that that's the whole point. Tennis is more than a sport. It's a bonding experience. You get to bond and be with your friends, with your coworkers, with family, with the community. Young and old, doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter your socioeconomic status, doesn't matter. You can play tennis. And what's really cool is you can play it for a lifetime. You can play it with one person against a backboard. You can play it with 2 people. You can play it with 4 people. You can play it as part of a team sport. Tennis, of course, is a great way to get active and to stay fit. It's part of the First Lady's Get Moving initiative. There's so many wonderful benefits of tennis, and you know, in this area, I think, you know, sometimes it's difficult for people to, you know, get to the grocery store easily because of transportation issues, and to have healthy food choices. Tennis is a way for families to come together, enjoy a healthier lifestyle, get active, and get moving. It's a win-win for the community. Like I said, this facility is unbelievably beautiful. These wonderful courts are going to attract kids, parents, families. Let's put them to good use. I can't wait to get out here and let's start playing. Thank you very much. And it is my pleasure to introduce Darlene Sellers. She's a recreation coordinator, White Center Community Center for King County Parks.
Thank you very much. Okay, yes, I am Darlene, and I'm lucky enough to be part of the Parks and Rec team out here in White Center. And on behalf of our entire team, both the Evergreen Maintenance crew and also the White Center team program, we just want to thank all the partners so much for this opportunity. We had kids and families and community members waiting at the gate to get in the day they opened. And when we come into work in the morning, there's people playing. And when we drive by at 11 p.m. at night to check on the park, there's people still playing. We had the opportunity to partner with several of the other community groups to bring some field days to the youth of White Center over the summer, and we were able to host 2 of those. And on the first field day, we did a rotation of activities. We broke the kids into 4 groups, and they went between the basketball courts, they did parachutes in the gym, they played soccer out on this field, and then they did tennis on the courts. Well, about partway through our second rotation, we realized the kids had never gotten to the gym for the parachute games. And then we realized the kids that were supposed to be coming from the tennis courts never made it to the soccer field. By the end of the day, all of the kids were on the tennis courts and refused to leave. And they basically said, we have real tennis courts. This is, you know, we're not giving them up. We're not leaving so quickly. At the end of the summer, we asked all the kids, we had about 300 youth, ages 6 to 12, that have participated, what their favorite event in all of the field days and all of the parks was. And it wasn't the water balloon toss, and it wasn't the free popcorn. Hands down, they all picked tennis at Steve Cox Memorial Park.